Alright, so I should be live, hopefully. Streaming from Golden Gate Park. Amazing Golden Gate Park with my GoPro using my iPhone Wi-Fi hotspot, so hopefully the video quality is decent. I'm not sure, it's probably crappy, but hopefully it's okay. GoPro battery seems to be going down. Anyways, I said last night for like 5 I was gonna do a video today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and have some things I want to say. My life has been really fucked up, like my whole life. So recently it's been really bad. I've been homeless for like 6 months now. I did a stream around Thanksgiving like 5 months ago where I said some stuff about how fucked up my life has been and whatnot. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and be completely honest about all the shit that I've been going through. I found Twitch in 2012, and it was like mind-blowing. Of course, there's a cop car. It was amazing because I had been homeless not too long before that, and I had basically given up on like friends and family and society and shit like that, and I just like gave up giving a fuck about other people and whatnot, and like having a social life and shit like that. And then I found Twitch, and there was this like awesome community of people on Twitch that were like good to each other and like being community centric and positive and enjoying playing video games and being sociable and whatnot. And it gave me hope. It made me hope that I could actually have a social life. Oh, of course there's bugs flying around and whatnot, excuse me. It gave me hope that I could actually have a social life. And so I had just recently before that built a 3930K rig, which at the time was like the best processor on the planet for 1080 streaming. I built it as a DAW rig, a digital audio workstation rig, because I'm into making music and stuff like that on my computer. So I built it, and then I did some testing with Ableton, and it wasn't. What I was planning on doing was doing shoutcast streams with just audio. I didn't know that Twitch existed yet, so I didn't know that you could stream video on the internet at that point. I was planning on doing shoutcast streams with just audio and doing like some cool experimental music stuff and streaming just audio. And I built the system as a 6-core 3930K processor with 16 gigs of RAM, and I put a crappy GTX 520 video card in it because I didn't think I was going to be playing video games anymore. So I went and did some testing, and it wasn't working out the way I wanted. I couldn't do as many instruments that I wanted to do, and so I got like disillusioned, and I decided not to do that. Excuse me. So I decided to go ahead and use the computer for video gaming again. I went ahead and got a graphics card, a GTX 670, and started playing video games on it. Because I had told myself I wasn't going to play video games anymore. I'll make music. I'm not going to play video games anymore. I'm just going to focus on making music, right? And ended up not doing that. I ended up playing video games again because it wasn't up to what I was hoping to do with the system. So it excuse me, checking my battery cable there. It doesn't seem to be charging the camera, but whatever, I got enough for the stream. It wasn't up to what I was trying to do, so I ended up playing video games on it again. And I was out of money because I built this system for like Black Friday 2012. I had put all my money into this new digital audio workstation system, and so I wanted a video game to play, something new that I hadn't played yet. I decided to go look on Steam in the free-to-play, and I found this game called Tribes Ascend, which was really big at the time, and it was free to play, and there was like a bunch of competitive scene and whatnot going on. And I was playing it, and I was looking around in some of the menu options, and there was this one menu option where it said something about live streams, live broadcasts, and I was like, what the live broadcasts, right? So when I looked, and there was like Anarchy AO and Titan 51 and a bunch of other people playing Tribes Ascend, and it blew my mind. It like literally blew my mind, the idea that you could have an actual video broadcast, that you could have a TV show, basically, your own broadcast, your own video, like your own TV show out of your home over the internet, and actually like it was mind-blowing, like the idea of how many people you could reach, of that you could put like your message, your something of whom or what you are out there on the internet for the whole world to see. It really blew my mind. So I decided to go ahead and start streaming. I started streaming Tribes Ascend, and I streamed like a lot back then. I streamed Tribes Ascend. I tried to get in a team and do competitive and whatnot. I was playing Doombringer, and I had some fun with it. It was kind of, the scene was not quite what I was hoping for. So I quit playing Tribes Ascend, and I ended up playing WoW. I found WoW. I knew about it, but I had never played it before, but I started watching Towley, and it was right when MOP was coming out, and Towley was like one of the really big streamers back then. He's still big, but like back then he was like pretty big on Twitch, as far as like Twitch was still small. So like Towley was like, a lot of people looked up to him. He had his Hammer Squad thing going. He still does, but it's like Twitch is different now. I'm not trying to like, it's just like back then, like Lyric. I found Lyric, I found Waffle, I found like a bunch of other people through Towley. Like his Hammer Squad was huge back then. So I'm not keeping up on stuff like that anymore. It's been a long time. But I started playing WoW because of Towley. And then I streamed WoW a lot. Like I was raiding with this guild called Unstable, and I was playing like, I was streaming like just hours and hours and hours, like 8 hours plus a day, 16 hours some days. And I started playing like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that back then. Anyways, I don't want to go into like the whole history of me streaming on Twitch and whatnot. Just my main reason, like the thing that I loved about Twitch back then especially, was that like the reach, like the idea that you could put your message out there for the whole world to see. Like you could put something of yourself out there, you could get out there on the internet and like reach possibly millions of people, hypothetically. Not that not that you get that many viewers, but like if you put a VOD up, you can, and it goes viral, you can end up reaching millions of people on YouTube and shit like that. Excuse me. So like it was just mind-blowing, the idea, the potential of the platform, that you could reach that many people, you could put yourself out there and be available to the whole internet. Possibly, hypothetically, billions of people could go and watch your VODs and whatnot. Not that that ever really happens with anybody, but like potentially there was the potential for it, right? And at the time I was living with my mom, the person that I thought of as my mom anyways, and I've been on disability, collecting disability benefits since like, it's been like 18 years now, since like right after year 2000 basically. And it's like, really, to me, being on disability and not being able to make a living on my own, it makes me feel like not exactly less than a person, but like I'm not doing as well as I should be in life. And I feel trapped in my bedroom with this woman that abuses me and shit like that. She's really mean to me and treats me like shit constantly, and just says shit to me like, well, nobody else would ever live with you. I'm the only person that would ever live with you. Stuff like that. You don't matter. You're just my son. Why would anybody give a fuck about you? Shit like that. She says this really abusive shit to me constantly. So I feel like I was feeling trapped in my bedroom, and like I was backed into a corner kind of, and just like Twitch to me was this, like, if I can do this, I can get off welfare potentially. I could start making my own money, get off of my not have to collect disability benefits, have my own money, go get my own place to live, get away from this abusive woman, have an actual life for a change. Like get off the disability, get away from Krista, the woman that I've been living with that abuses me and shit like that, and have an actual real life for a change. So that's what Twitch was to me. But I have severe social anxiety, and I have a bunch of stuff that's going on with me that I don't talk about with anybody, really. That like, I've been remembering weird stuff since right around 2004. I keep remembering stuff like it's this weird thing, like stuff that happened back in the 70s. Like it's like as I go along, as I live my life, and certain things I live, I start to remember stuff that happened back then. And the farther I go along, the more I live, the more I remember stuff that happened back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s and whatnot. And it's really weird. So that's a huge issue for me. I have this other issue, this thing that's going on with my body, when I was homeless the first time. Around August of 2005, I started to remember some things one night. Like I was just explaining, like the more I live, the more I remember. This was one night I was living homeless in an Acura Integra, green Acura Integra. And I was sleeping on up near Diamond Heights, near the police academy barracks here in San Francisco. I was sleeping in my car at the time. And I started to remember this thing that happened where somebody came and found me and like tried all these weird things on me, these little square things, and none of them were working on me. And then they said, oh, well, I guess you're not any of them. This one never worked. We'll try this one. This one never works on anybody. And they tried this really big one that had this like white orb around it. And they looked away to write something on a piece of paper. And then like the orb thing started to like dissolve or fade. They put it in my palm and it started to dissolve or fade, however you want to think of that. And then I said, whoa. Right? And like they looked back and saw that it was working on me, and they reached out to grab it and take it back, but it was like just too late. The square thing inside it hit my palm and like melted into my palm. And that night I actually I rolled over on my left side about 5 minutes later in the Acura in the bucket seat, driver's seat, and I arched my back up and my back popped, and I felt this weird like something going down through my spine and out into my legs and then up into my torso and out into my arms. And ever since then I've been having this, where I keep noticing differences with my body. I keep having these like anatomical differences. I'm going to show right now. Here, let me take my jacket off. Some things that I've noticed with my body that are different now, that weren't like this, what I'm showing right now. I first noticed this. Let me try to get a close-up, if you can see. I have, like, on my Twitter, there's a, I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm not seeing it in the camera thing very well, but there's like a muscle there in my arm, like right here. It wasn't there before. There's one right here. There's one over here. I didn't notice them actually until I was seeing a doctor, and she sent me in for some blood tests, and I was getting some blood drawn, and the phlebotomist said, well, that's weird. It's like there's some muscle tissue over the vein. And I was like, really? Because I had noticed I knew that this was going on. The first thing I noticed was the skin cells on the back of my hand started getting smaller. And that was like in 2006, 2007, back then. And another thing I noticed when I was living in Fort Bragg with the woman that's been abusing me, my knees started to change. I was getting up off the toilet one day and my knees felt different. And here, I'll show that too. Here, if you can see, like my knee here. There's this muscle right here. That's a muscle, and there's another muscle over here. And when I flex, it kind of goes away. But then when I unflex, then when I flex, it pops out, like right here. That wasn't there back in 2005 when the memory first came back to me. I noticed that when I was living in Fort Bragg, approximately 2009. And then this, I noticed after we moved back to Sacramento, it was probably like 2011. The phlebotomist woman said something about it, and it hadn't really grown in enough where I noticed it. And then like a week and a half later, I looked down at my arm and I'm like, holy shit, there is actually a muscle there. That's weird, right? There's also, like at the top of my biceps, it bulges out a little bit now where it didn't before. I can't really show that because it's not really very prominent, and plus my biceps really aren't that impressive. I need to work out more. So this is something that I've been hiding, that I've been just holding in, and it's like creepy, right? Because like I'm not human anymore. It's weird, like, because this is my body, and it's been changing on like ever since August of 2005, approximately August 12th. There have been these differences. I keep noticing these differences, these changes, and it's kind of creepy, and it's freaking me out, like internally, and it freaks other people out too. Like I go to the ER, and like sometimes the nurses get this weird, like they're freaked out by it when they go to draw blood. Another thing that happened recently, I went to a dentist. I had a bad tooth infection, and I had to have a tooth pulled. And the dentist that pulled the tooth, it took him like a good half hour to get the tooth out. And when he finally got it out, it had one bulbous root. He showed it to me. It was like one big root, and it was bigger around than the socket he had to pull it out through. He actually had to crack my jaw to get the thing out, which is that's not normal human anatomy either. So I know this is creepy and weird, and I've been holding it in since back in 2005. I've been trying not to talk to people about it. I behave as if it's not going on. Like, I wear short sleeve shirts, like I'm wearing this short sleeve shirt, like I don't worry about it. I behave like it's not going on, like it's not a thing. Because it's freaking me out internally, and I figure it freaks other people out. Like, there was this other time when I went to another phlebotomy lab, and this guy was drawing blood, and he just like got this look on his face, like he was just like he was freaked out kind of, and he had no idea what he was looking at, and it was like deeply unsettling to him. And I just kind of went, man, like, I don't know what to tell you, just get the blood, you know, if you can't hit the vein, just let it drip out slow. And he went ahead and did that, and then we went our separate ways, and I haven't seen him again since. But I think it like sincerely freaked him out, basically. So like, I feel like kind of a freak. So I've been trying to like keep it to myself and not talk to people about it. And it's kind of like psychologically and emotionally, it's fucked up is one way to put it. It's difficult for me to deal with it. I just act like it's not going on because I don't know what else to do. But it's gotten to the point, I just turned 48 like last week. April 5th was my birthday. I turned 48, and it's been like 16 years, going on 17. It'll be 17 in August, and I can't fucking deal with this anymore. So I've decided to go ahead and just be honest about it. I put up a Tinder profile where I talk about it on my Tinder profile, and I've actually been getting some likes. It's interesting. And I figured I'll just be honest. I'll just come out on Twitch and be honest, and that's part of why I'm doing this, is I kind of want to apologize to Twitch, because I've been holding this in, and it makes me feel like I have to be withdrawn and like just hold myself in, and I can't be honest. I can't be myself. That's another thing, living with the woman I've been living with. I can't relax and just be who I am, which you kind of need to do that on Twitch. You need to be genuine. You need to be who you really are and just be yourself and enjoy playing a video game and have a good time talking with people and whatnot. And I can't really do that living with her. A good example of that, there's this one time when one of the new Diablo seasons, Diablo 3, I was playing a demon hunter character. The season had just started. I was a brand new character. I was like level 12 and I had no gear. And I was leveling, doing rifts. And I got into like the second level of the rift, and I get in there, and there's like 2 blue packs and a gold, like right in the front door, right inside the door. And I just freaked out. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? And I like ran back out, right? And like, she heard me all the way down the hallway in the front room of the house and freaked out, and like got up and ran all the way down the hallway, started banging on, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my God, are you okay? It's just like, look, I'm just playing a video game. Please calm down. Like, I can't be animated at all. I can't like, I mean, some streamers have like a soundproof box or a room or whatever that they stream in, because you want to be able to be loud and yell if you need to, and like jump scare and whatnot. But you want to be able to like actually like, you know, oh fuck, right, if you need to, right, if it's appropriate to the game that's going on and whatnot. And I can't do that. I can't relax and just be myself and be loud and be animated and whatnot, because she freaks out. And then also this thing with me holding this in, what's going on with my body, and just feeling like I have to hide myself. I have to hide who I really am and what I'm really going through. So it makes it difficult for me to just be myself and just relax and be who I really am and be honest and genuine on Twitch. So it's been really difficult for me. Like this last, how long has it been? Like 8 years, 10 going on. I mean, I think I started watching Twitch in like 2012, maybe 2013. So it's been like going on 10 years. It's been difficult. I've been holding it in. I've been living with this woman that makes it damn near impossible for me to actually like be myself and relax and be who I am and just enjoy my life and who I am, like my genuine self. I can't be myself around her. She freaks out on me. And this thing with my body especially is like really, it's been freaking me out. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure how to deal with it. Recently I've been starting to have like hormonal changes. I'm pretty sure I've been starting to get like this roid rage thing where I get really fucking angry sometimes. People piss me off and I just get like really angry. And then I have other issues like that I don't really want to talk about because we don't need to go into all of that. But it's been a huge problem for me. And just like trying to eat right, like especially living on the streets, trying to eat right. I've been eating shitty food. I've been eating like chocolates and shit like that, and potato chips, and eating these shitty sandwiches out of the Safeway. Just trying to get proper nutrition, so my body, like, if I don't eat enough protein, like my whole body starts to feel achy. Like every muscle in my body starts to ache. I need to eat, like, I did some testing when I was living in Sacramento, like medium chicken breasts that you get like the 6 or 7 pack at the stores. I need to eat at least 2 of those every day, if not 3, and that's with a 25-gram protein shake in the morning and then a 25-gram casein at night before bed. I need to eat at least 2 chicken breasts, if not 3 every day, or I get this achy where my whole body aches thing. So I have nutritional requirements. They're going unmet. I live in the park. I sleep homeless in Golden Gate Park at night. I haven't had I get a room at this hostel that I go to once in a while when I have the money, so I can get a shower and a shave and like bathe myself and have a night in, you know, a bed for a change, especially like when it's raining and I don't want to be out in the park in the rain. Like, it's just like my living condition recently is basically unbearable. The living situation is unbearable. I can't fucking work. Yeah, I put out a dance music track on iTunes before I left living with the woman that I've been living with. Like, I dropped in on July 4th, 2021. And it was mostly just like a declaration of independence. Like, you know, I'm an independent artist. I can put out music if I want to. I can be creative. I can do my own thing. I'm not expecting to make money off of it or anything. It was just like my way of declaring my independence, right? I'm moving out July 4th, Independence Day. I'm going to do a declaration of independence, put out this track. It's on iTunes. It's called Anarchy Rules the World, if anybody gives a shit, but like, don't worry about it. I don't expect anybody to go and listen to it or anything like that. I just figured I wanted to say that I did that, and then I moved out, and ever since then I've been living on the streets, and it's just like, I like being creative. I like making music. I've been trying to like mess around on my MacBook a bit. Like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I'm homeless. I live on the streets. I have nothing. I have like, my income is $1,000 a month. Like, I mean, I was taking commercial audio production courses before I moved out. Like, that's one of the reasons why I love making music. Music is something that I've always enjoyed. It's just something that I do for fun because I enjoy it. Like, I kind of plugged there, but like shameless self-promotion, right, Tali? But like, I don't really give a shit if people buy it or not. It's one of the points that I was trying to make. I didn't do it as like a way to make money. I did it more as a way of me doing something, like getting something out of myself, like doing something. Like, I can do this. I can be creative. I can do something with myself. I don't have to sit in my bedroom and just rot like this woman treats me like I'm a worthless piece of shit that can't do anything, basically. So it was something that I did to basically declare my independence and declare I'm an independent artist. I'm an independent human being. I don't have to live with this woman if I don't want to. It's one of the other things, like, it makes me feel like less than a man living with this woman, because like, any person, any guy that has any type of balls at all should be able to just stand up and walk out the door and go get a job and do something with their life, right? I had like $3,000 saved up before I moved out, and the woman that I've been living with, she'd been trying to talk me into getting a car, which I'm really glad I didn't do that, because gas prices are up at like $6 a gallon right now. What I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I don't want to get a car. I mean, it'd be nice to have a roof over my head when it's raining and whatnot, but it's really expensive for gas. Like, last time I was homeless, I had a car, it was like $4 a gallon, and I was putting like half my welfare check in the gas tank every month. Gas is just horrendously expensive. So I thought it was a stupid idea to get a car, because then you end up putting money in the gas tank all month long. Like, and then $60 a month for insurance, and then you got to get the oil changed and shit like that. And I thought it was a stupid idea. So I tried to figure out something else I could do with the $3,000, hopefully a way to make some money while I'm on the streets. And what I came up with was get a live view and try to IRL cast. So I did that a little bit. That didn't work out. I tried to get a job at Amazon. That didn't work out. That lasted like a week and a half. So now I'm just like homeless and I live on the streets, and every day is just like, I get up, I go to the storage unit, I drop my sleeping bag off and my backpack's off, I go get some food to eat, I ride the buses around, I go back to the storage unit, grab my sleeping bag and my backpacks, I come back to the park and I go to bed. I get up the next day, I do it all over again. It's just like this pointlessness, and I just feel like I'm wasting. I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? I can't do anything. So I know the music track thing sounded like I was trying to plug the track. I don't give a shit about if people buy it or not. I honestly don't care. I put it out there because, like, this is one of the things that trips me out. Like, people have this, as far as I can tell, people think that I do stuff like that thinking that I'm gonna like be some type of instant hit or some shit like that. I couldn't give a shit. I do that because I'm bored and I want to do it. I enjoy making music. I've been studying making music since like back in the 90s. I started learning about DAWs and shit like that. Like, I've been into music and like there was this thing that happened back in the 80s when I grew up here in San Francisco, and the guy that I thought was my father took me to the Grant Street Fair. One of his best friends, his father used to run it back in the day, and we were there, and there was this guy that had this booth where he was selling tapes of music that he made with a TRS-80 back in the 80s. That was like samples of him popping bubble gum, and he'd make like percussive patterns and shit like that with it. I thought it blew my mind, and I was mind blown. I couldn't believe that was even possible, and the idea of making music with computers just blew my fucking mind. It was like the potential was just like, I couldn't fucking, it just like blew, I just was mind blown, or mind boggled, or whatever you want to call it. It just fucked my head up thinking about it, right? And so I just had to have the tape, and I begged for it, and the guy that I thought was my father at the time went ahead and bought it for me. I'm pretty sure he went without cigarettes for like a week so he could pay for it, but he went ahead and bought it for me, and I listened to it like one time probably. But the point I'm making is that, like, I've had an interest in music since back then, and then like in the 90s I met this woman that I fell in love with, and she introduced me to Aphex Twin, and so I started listening to his music and reading about him, and his music's very creative and very experimental and whatnot, and it was very like inspiring listening to it. I read some of the articles about him back then, and one of them, he was saying he wanted to do a whole concert just with a notebook computer, and I thought to myself, wow, if he can do a whole concert with a notebook computer, I wonder what I can do with a desktop, right? So I was working at the time, and I was making good money. I was like making like $2,000 a month after taxes, working downtown as a computer technician. So I decided to just build a rig. I went and bought a bunch of parts at this computer store down on Mission Street and carried them back to my apartment on Market Street. I was living across the street from the Orpheum at the time in a studio apartment. And I went ahead and built myself a computer and started fucking around, making music with it and whatnot, doing like remixes and shit. And I mean, I'm a total novice. I'm not very good at it. So it was fun. I had a really good time doing it, and I learned some stuff, and it was just like, it's something that I do for my own enjoyment because I have a good time doing it. It's entertaining, and it's like a creative outlet, an emotional outlet, so I have a good time and I enjoy it. So since then I've been working on it, like learning about DAWs a bit and whatnot, and I kept messing around making tracks here and there, just experimental stuff for my own enjoyment, not really giving a shit about like trying to get any type of money going or anything like that. I never published anything. Like back in the day, there was this thing that I put out because I wanted the woman that I fell in love with to like listen to it, and I put it on mp3.com, and just because I wanted her to listen to it and maybe like get a feel for my vibe or my emotional thing, right? And I doubt she ever even listened to it, but it was just something that I did to try to express myself to her. And then years later, like maybe a little bit after year 2000, I ended up messing around. Like Trent Reznor had a remix site, remix.nin.com, where he put a bunch of multi-tracks out. And like I used to make remixes back in the day by using, I'd rip 2-channel. Like I made this one Aphex Twin one that I called To Cure a Weakling Child Bouncing a Ball, Contemplation Disregard, that was like 10 minutes long. And it was basically, I ripped a bunch of audio off the 2-channel audio off of the Come to Daddy EP, and just kind of went nuts with it and made like what would today be called a mashup, but that was like in 97 or 98. I don't think the term mashup existed yet back then. So, but it was just like, I was just having fun. I was just like going nuts with it and having a good time messing around. So that was fun. I had a good time with that. And then when Remix happened, I found remix.nin.com. There was all these actual multi-track where there was like, you had the guitar was separate from the vocals, was separate from the drums, was separate from you had like actual multi-track, and you could do interesting things with the multi-track. So I started downloading stuff from there and working on remixes and uploading stuff, and just for fun, participating in the community. He took the site down a few years ago for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure why. That's between him and his webpage. And anyways, so I did that for a while, messing around. I wasn't using any compressors or plugins or anything, just messing around, having fun, just because I enjoyed it and I wanted to learn about it, and just for shiggles and shenanigans, basically. So that was fun. And then eventually I started like trying to work on my own original tracks, and I got to this point where I was working on this one track that was like almost 10 minutes long, and the melody and whatnot I liked to it, like musically I enjoyed it, but I kept working on it, trying to get it to sound good, and it's like the more I worked on it, the worse it got. It just kept getting like, it ended up sounding like really bad. So I decided, you know what, I need to get serious about this. If I want to actually do this and be good at it and make actual cool shit, I need to get serious about it. So I decided to go to school. So eventually I ended up going to Sacramento City College and taking courses at Sac City, trying to get a commercial audio degree. This is what I was doing right up until COVID. And then I need, like literally, I need 3 more classes. I have 3 more classes to take to get an AA degree. And I ended up dropping out because of COVID. The online only thing was just garbage. So that didn't happen. And then now I'm homeless. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and put that track out. That was like one of the things that came from me going to commercial audio courses, taking commercial audio courses, and I watched a bunch of videos like on the internet, dancemusicproduction.com, this stuff on YouTube, stuff like that. So it's basically a product of all of that and of me enjoying making music my whole life. And I used to play guitar too when I was really young. I can't anymore because my hands cramp up. I had like too many IVs or some shit like that. I don't know. Like at the hospital when I had my appendix out, they were using my arm as like a pin cushion basically in Fort Bragg. So it was, no, I can't play, my hand cramps up. So that bums me out. Anyways, that's where that track came from. Like, the point I'm trying to make about it is like, I made it because I wanted to, because my own enjoyment, because my own creative outlet, my own emotional outlet, something that I wanted to do for myself, something that I wanted to do as a statement to the world and to the woman that I've been living with. Like, I can do this. I'm not worthless. I'm not fucking useless. I can actually do things. I can be creative. I can put out something that's, I mean, it's not great. It's the mixing isn't exactly the best. It's not like awesome. It's not, Dead Mouse. It's not Skrillex or anything. It's not Armin van Buuren, right? But it's me, and it's just my own I enjoy making music, so I do it because I want to. I put it out there because I wanted to make like a statement of like, look, I'm not completely fucking worthless. I can do this. I can make music. I can put something out there that's maybe people will enjoy, right? So like, I listened to it. It's not getting very many listens, which I don't really care. Somebody actually Shazammed it a couple of weeks ago, which was nice, made me feel good, right? Which is great. But the point I'm trying to get at is it's my own enjoyment. I do like, that's another thing about Twitch streaming. Like, I stream on Twitch. I streamed on Twitch for years just because I enjoy it. It's a hobby. I enjoy the tech stuff. I geek out on the software like XSplit and OBS. I geek out on the hardware. Like my streaming setup. I have my computer, my PC, and like my consoles, like my PS4 and my Wii U and my PS3. And then I have an HDMI matrix, a 4x2 HDMI matrix that I patch everything into, and then I have the A out that goes to my main monitor. And I have where it has a 2-channel headphone jack that I plug a Hosa 1/8 inch to dual 1/4 inch jack or cable into, and I route that into a Euphoria 404 Behringer audio interface that I have plugged into my MacBook, and I run Ableton Live on my MacBook, and I have an APC 40 so I can control levels and like have like a soundboard and shit like that. and then I have my mic, my Audio Technica, plugged into the Euphoria 404 as well. And the point I'm like I have all that set up, and then I can do compressors and shit in Ableton, and like adjust levels with the APC 40. And like the point I'm trying to get at is that like I can switch between different inputs from the PC and the consoles, and like adjust all my levels with the APC 40 and fire off clips with the soundboard clips if I want to, like fail horns and shit like that with the clip buttons on the APC 40. Like I do this because I like geek out on it. I enjoy it. Like, so I like go to this, I just want to learn about it. I've been learning After Effects. I've been learning like just creative, like all kinds of stuff about streaming, about XSplit, about OBS, about like, just because I enjoy it. I geek out on it. It's a tech thing. I've been into computers since I was a little kid. I started learning about computers when I was going to Grattan Elementary School back in the late 70s, like learning Logo on an Apple II. And I've been learning about computers ever since then. I love computers. I love tech stuff. So like streaming is like this tech thing where it takes computers, it takes software, it takes like audio gear, it takes like video editing and like video encoding and stuff. It's like all this tech stuff together. You put it all together and you make this like live broadcast thing where it's like a composite of all those different things, and it's you have to like learn all of it to be like I want to say good at it, but like to get that level of like professional like production values, you have to like understand all of it and like, anyway, it's just something that I get really into, the tech side of it, and the broadcasting thing, like I said before, about being able to reach potentially millions of people. Like 2 billion people on the internet have data enough to be able to watch like 720p. So anyways, I know, back to the point I was making about like what I'm going through. I kind of wanted to apologize to Twitch because I've been freaking out about this thing with my body, and I've been freaking about this thing where I keep remembering all this crazy shit from when I was a kid, and I've been freaking out about the woman that I've been living with. And so I've been kind of like really reserved and like not myself. I've been not genuine. I've been like, it's kind of like a character that I do for the woman that I've been living with, like her perfect little son or whatever, that she makes me conform to this like character that if I deviate from it, she freaks out on me. So I've been like not me. So I just kind of wanted to apologize to Twitch that I've been disingenuous. It's one of the things that happened when I first started streaming. I was streaming Assassin's Creed. I think it was Assassin's Creed 2. And at one point there was like these 2 different people that came in and told me that I was an awesome streamer, like within like 3 days of each other. And it just made me stop and think, because I like, at the time I was sitting in my bedroom, probably hadn't bathed in over a week. The bedroom a mess, trash all over the place, like dirty dishes and shit, like eating candy bars and Cheetos and drinking soda all the fucking time. I wasn't taking care of myself. And it just made me stop and think, if they actually saw me, I wasn't using a cam, so I'm like, if they saw me sitting here obese, haven't bathed, in this pile of trash, eating shitty food, would they really think that I'm this awesome streamer? So I felt really disingenuous and like I was like dishonest, and so it made me stop and think. And then like I decided to try to, like, I have to be that. If I'm going to be the awesome streamer, I have to be the awesome streamer, right? So I tried to, like, I wanted to work on my social anxiety, start taking better care of myself, eating better food, working out, stuff like that. And then I finally got to this point where I actually felt like maybe I was that, or I could be anyways. And that was when I did like my Demon Souls casts, and I did a bunch of stuff with After Effects, with transitions, and like break screens with boss fight videos and stuff like that. And I actually was doing well. I got a bunch of followers. Like, I got more followers during those casts than I did the whole like 5 years earlier than that. So I'm kind of running out of time here, I think, or actually it's my SD card's running out. So anyways, let me get to the point. I'm using up my data on my phone too. I did streaming mostly as a hobby because I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the tech, and I enjoyed like just having something to do. I had this awesome computer, 3930K at the time when I first started streaming, and I was playing video games like 16, 18 hours a day anyways, so I'm like, well shit, I might as well let the stream roll and see what happens. And I saw it mostly as a way of like doing something with myself and doing something with this computer that I spent all my money, all this money that I'd spent on it. And like maybe if I did well, I could get some money going and get off disability and get away from Krista and have an actual life for a change. Obviously that didn't happen. I'm homeless, I live in a park now. So things didn't go well, like obviously. The main point I'm trying to make, like I never saw myself as awesome streamer dude or anything like that. I never saw myself as like the you know, cool creator, you know, content creator or anything like that. I just loved Twitch. I just honestly loved streaming on Twitch, and I loved being a part of the streaming thing, like learning about it, learning about broadcasting software, learning about audio gear, stuff like that. Participating in Twitch chat here and there was very fun. The community, I went to TwitchCon in 2015, that was fun. Like I really loved Twitch, so I tried to participate in it. It had nothing to do with wanting to be like super cool streamer dude or anything like that. So like back to the point, like I've been hiding stuff, I've been hiding who I really am, I've been hiding what's going on with my body, just like with the muscles and things. Like I'm growing into, from what I'm remembering, what I'm growing into is meant to be, it's designed to be like 3-story tall wing creature, or maybe larger than that. I don't remember, I don't know all the details, but like I'm 16 years into it and there's already these changes. It's going to take like a really long time. What I'm the current lifetime of, I know people don't believe in reincarnation and whatnot, but I do, and I know that what I'm the current lifetime of is like what I'm the current lifetime of wrote the DNA that what I'm growing into grows from. And they're a whole different story, which I don't really want to go into right now because it sounds crazy. It makes me look like I think I'm God or some shit like that. So I don't want to really go into that, which that's another thing. Like I honestly believe the whole we're all just meat robots. Like Man vs. Game at one point said something about we're all just meat robots, and I was like, yeah, right, no man, no gods, no king, only kings, only man, right? We're all just meat robots, sure. And then I started remembering all this stuff about what I'm the current lifetime of, and it kind of fucked my head up, because like that's not what I'm the current lifetime of is, and it's just, I don't want to talk about it because it makes me feel like I'm crazy. It makes me feel like a megalomaniac or whatever. But I'm remembering all this weird shit about what I'm the current lifetime of and all this other stuff. So I just wanted to be more honest for a change, because I've been feeling very like I've been holding it in, and like I've been lying and hiding stuff about whom and what I am, and being very dishonest and disingenuous with the Twitch community. And I never really expected anything. I was hoping maybe that I could get some type of income happening and get away from the abusive woman that I live with and have an actual life for a change. That's what I was hoping to get out of Twitch, that and some social involvement, because I have social anxiety, and it's not easy. Like with in person, Twitch is way more like insulated is one word for it. You can like ban people when they fuck with you from chat and shit like that. So it's easier to be sociable in that context. So I was hoping to get some social enjoyment out of it. Anyways, I need to bring this to a close. I'm using up my data plan and whatnot, and I don't know what else to do other than to just be honest at this point, just to come out and be honest and tell the truth about what's going on with me. Probably stream again at some point, and maybe I'll be more honest about the what I'm the current lifetime of thing. I'll just explain it real quick, the thing that I'm remembering. What I'm the current lifetime of is what's called the axis of the universal energy. They're like the self-aware, expressive, and perceptual organ of the living fabric of space and time that is the whole universe. That's what I'm remembering. And it sounds crazy, but that's what I'm remembering, and that's what I'm dealing with. It's weird, right? It's weird. Like I feel like a creep talking like that. This is one of the things I was thinking before. Maybe like Bill Maher did that religious thing, right? Like maybe, and he says Twitch is a waste of time, by the way, so apparently I'm wasting my time right now. But I was thinking maybe he and I could get together and do like a religious, like, because I feel underrepresented. I tweeted about it the other night. I feel like I didn't get my representation. Like, he talked to that guy in Amsterdam that just sits and smokes weed and people worship him. What about me, Bill? What about me? Here I am. I mean, I know it's late and whatnot, but like I remember all this stuff, and now I'm growing into this thing and whatnot. Like, what about me? Don't I get my representation? Like, shouldn't I get my 15 minutes or whatever you want to call it, right? Like, so I was thinking maybe we could do a religious, and maybe we could fly off to Amsterdam and go hang out with that guy and, like, you know, smoke some weed. And once I'm nice and high, he could just smack me real fucking hard. Maybe I'll snap out of this bullshit, right? Right? No, it doesn't work. I'm still remembering all this crazy shit. I'm still growing into what I'm growing into. I hate my life. Last point I want to make about it is I can't stand this. I don't want to be this when I'm growing into, when I'm remembering about it. It's not a fun thing to be. I don't want to, like, I love when I'm the current lifetime of, but I hate having to be this lifetime of theirs. It sucks. And I really honestly would rather just die than live this. It's just unbearable. So yeah, that they're gonna report me. Oh no, self-harm. Oh no, he smacked himself. Shit. But anyways, it's unbearable. I'd really rather just die. And people always talk about how they're gonna kill me and shit like that, and I just like, yeah, whatever, man, leave me alone. Quit promising shit that you can't promise. I can't seem to stay dead. So, like, last thing I'm gonna say, anybody out there that wants to kill me, like, if you can make it happen, awesome. I'd really rather stay dead, because I don't want to be this. I don't want to be what I have to be, what I'm growing into. I can't fucking stand it. It's not a fun thing. I'm not anticipating it. It's not something that I enjoy the idea of. I'd really rather not have to be what I'm growing into. And like, anybody that wants to take that kind of shot at me, like, fine. But like, if I don't stay dead, you're gonna owe me some shit, because I'm sick of being homeless. So if you come at me and try to kill me and I don't stay dead, then I'm gonna ask for something in return for that, because, like, don't be trying to kill me and then it doesn't work. So I know this is like touchy and whatnot, like, probably shouldn't talk like this on Twitch, but I just wanted to say that, because, like, I keep getting everybody, oh man, we're gonna kill you, you can't do that, you can't talk like that, you can't say what you are out in public, you're gonna end up dead, people are gonna kill you, right? Like, the religious people will probably come shoot at me or something. Anyways, I need to just, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, because otherwise I'll just keep going all night. I mean, I guess I could. Maybe I'm running out of data on my data plan though. I only got 40 gigs, so this is probably chewing up like 10 gigs of it right here. Anyway, that's gonna be that. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Shirokuyune. Talking at you from Golden Gate Park. Bunch of crazy shit, right? What a fucking weirdo. Who wants that guy? Anyway, maybe I'll be on again sometime, maybe not. Bye.